Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
The ultimate Princess celebration got in-park previews this week with surprise cavalcades and character meets Wednesday and Thursday. The mini-season will run 23rd to the 29th of August.
New Year's Eve soiree tickets are now on sale.
An exclusive pin trading event is coming to Newport Bay Club September 18th.
Several new magic shots are available throughout the park to celebrate Photo Pass Day. Woo!
In international news, the US parks release a replacement scheme for FastPass Plus, the Genie App. And the internet goes wild.
Woo!
You guys were really selling the news today.
He upped his game, so I upped my game.
Is it? Oh no, I've got a bigger boat kind of situation.
Bigger something.
Bigger something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's tell you what's going on today. In exactly 8 days, we are going on our last-minute Disneyland Paris post-COVID trip. Yay!
Woo,
so we have some updates.
Mid-COVID.
Yeah,
It's gone now. Did you not know?
Post-lockdown.
According to some guy outside Lush in Leeds with a Liverpool accent, he was like, "What's the point? Why we even queue? Was he Liverpool or Geordie? Well, let's say he was Liverpoolian. He was going, what's the point? Like, I've been queuing to get in the shop. Like, I thought it was all over. Like, there was no COVID anymore. I thought that was the whole point.
COVID, novid. That's what I said.
I think he's right. I think it's gone. It's done. But not according to our various travel partners, such as airlines on Disneyland Paris. There are lots of hoops we've got to jump through. So we're going to tell you how the planning's going because it is hard work. We also might do a little rundown of some bucket lists. We're going to see how timing goes. We might leave that. We're going to do a show next week, the eve of our flight. So we're going to be telling you all our plans, packing things, what's in our flight bag and things.
I'll probably still be packing during the show.
Yeah, he'll be throwing things in an Asda bag.
And she'll be getting cross with me.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's the eve of my holiday as well, and I'm going far more exciting places. I'm going to Northumberland.
I love Northumberland.
Oh, I do
love
too.
Northumberland,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
we? Yeah, we do.
For some reason, I was thinking of Norwich when you said that. Yeah,
No,
Northumberland.
not Norwich.
Annick.
Are you going to
Lovely
Annick
place.
Castle?
I don't know if we will or not. We're staying somewhere in the middle of nowhere, right near Hadrian's Wall.
That's quite far north.
Yeah, very far north.
It's
kind of
it's
as far as,
as north as
go
it's
in the
basically
country,
Winterfell, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to stand on the wall.
Fun story. We didn't drive at the time, and we tried to walk to. Well, no, we did successfully walk to Holy Island, which is Lindisfarne. You know,
Oh yeah,
the
like
thing.
that. Yeah.
However, we timed coming back badly, and the tide was going to come.
We didn't time it badly. Someone, it got very, very
misty, and we couldn't find the road.
And then a car pulled up and insisted on giving us a lift, but we could have made it.
You'd have made it.
We
I'm sure
think-
you would have been.
We think we could have made it.
We planned it.
We'll
Okay.
swim the last of it.
Lucy planned it.
And they've got those panic stations.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got you got me off my list. So we're having a little chat about our plans for Disneyland Paris. We're also going to discuss the Disney Genie app that's coming to the US and how that relates to the ever-changing world of technology in Disneyland Paris. So Disneyland Paris has just got to about 2002 now.
Do you think?
They're catching up. But first, the news.
Bong.
So, the Ultimate Princess Celebration. It got some surprise previews. I don't think they were planned or advertised, but there was stuff going on in park in preparation. So, did you see any of that?
Is that why Queen Elsa and Anna were about?
Yeah, the Frozen 2 float from the mini-season last January, February time, which is a brilliant float, by the way. Big
Sven
Frozen.
on the back.
Yeah, got Sven on the back. It wasn't working, I don't think.
No, not on the video.
He was just tired. He was
Yeah.
tired. But it's got a big frozen waterfall with like the water knock at the front. It's a fabulous float. So that was doing a cavalcade.
It's the goat of floats.
The Princess Bridge from the big floral Princess Bridge
I like
thing
that,
from the
yeah.
Pirates and Princesses.
Yeah.
That one was doing a cavalcade. They also had the princesses waving from the train station on the way in and the way out at the beginning and the end of the day. I think it was at the beginning of the day. It was definitely at the end of the day. And then there was some additional meets and greets. Jasmine was in Adventureland. Merida was in Fantasyland. And then they had 5 additional magic shots. Who wants to explain what magic shots are for people who might not know?
Is that the augmented reality jobby?
Well, for example, you pose with your hand out, and then they'll pop a little Tinkerbell in there on your photograph.
They'll say, do this with your hand now, look at it and look surprised, and you go,
this might not surprise you, Chris, but they're not for me.
No, I don't think they're for me either.
You're a Photoshop ninja, though.
Well,
aren't you?
I mean, I could do it myself, and they're very standard, It's just like, they're always the same.
It's quite fun and it's instant. If you've got the photo pass, and you're not a black belt on Photoshop, it's there, and the kids will enjoy it. But yeah, so I've got 5 magic princess shots. Now I think the reason we've got those 2 additional princesses is
Mark Chester says, "Stop banging the desk."
Oh no!
Now it's not just us; it's viewers and listeners are telling you.
I can't decide if he's being sarcastic or if it's a genuine piece of feedback there.
Lab rats learn.
Either way, stop it.
I think the rest of the princesses meet in the Princess Pavilion.
Okay.
So the addition of these 2 princesses, and maybe if Mulan was to appear as well, those would be the princesses that don't traditionally go in the Princess Pavilion. So it's nice to have them out. Yeah. Oh, the snacks.
Let me guess. Is it Nutella themed?
I don't think so.
What?
Is it vegetables and cheese in a pot?
It's not. I hate to disappoint you. The thing is,
Shortbread.
I mean, they very often do this at Disneyland Paris. They'll do these press releases with a photo spread of the snacks they're going to do, and you find out they're actually at the premium buffets. So it's not like just a snack you can go into, the cable car bakery and grab. Is that the one? That might be the one in Florida. I can't remember what it's called. The Main Street Bakery, anyway. They tend to be attached to the buffets. It's not necessarily the case this time, but it's 5 mini pastries that are attached to the tea time at Plaza Gardens. So it is additional upsell. It's not just something you can grab. There's also the Bell milkshake at Victoria's, which is it's a sit-down place, table service, but it's sort of a lighter restaurant.
Where's Victoria's?
It's next to the ice cream parlour, so it's not on Main Street. It's round the corner next to the first aid.
That place has always been shut whenever I've been.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I've been in there once because I did think it was a quick service kind of place. I went during Run Disney and they'd got the chipmunk Nutella flavoured milkshake going on, and I thought, well, I like the look of that, I'll go get it. And I walked in and they were like, yeah, take a seat. And I thought, I don't want to take a seat. And they very kindly did put it in a paper cup for me.
You should have said no.
But I think it's more a sit-down place.
Yeah.
It's kind of a crossover level, Victoria's. We might try it this time,
Where
perhaps.
is it?
It's ice cream place on the corner. It's here facing the castle. Next to the first aid place, Plaza Gardens.
Yeah.
Is anyone getting it?
Yeah.
In the brains?
I'm going to have a look on the app.
Okay. But then the one that is kind of ready at snack locations for you to get is a little ice cream tub with a white chocolate knock on it. So.
Great.
There's a request in the chat.
Does it look good?
To stop banging the table.
No, it says, please, 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 can you play your tiki song and shake your cups? My husband and I love it.
Oh.
And actually, I'd like to know what you've got today because it smells really good, Hugh. So
it's great.
Would you mind telling me?
Because we've got a certain shout out later on that he's getting in character.
It's your time. All together. Your tiki 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 cup. In your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage. I'll drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
There you go.
I'm still on the Manchester Drinks Company spiced rum, but this time I'm sticking with the coconut and vanilla.
Do you know, you offered me some of this before, and I said no, but I'm going to add a little bit in if I can.
Yeah,
to my not a lilt.
And today I've cut it with, now I did this, I was going to put some orange and pineapple in it, it felt appropriate, but I would have had to have decanted some and mixed it. So what I did was I just got some leftover blackcurrant, topped it up with water, and it's working really well.
Ah, that's good.
It's working really well.
Put just a little dribble in there.
So that's what's in the old tiki cup today, Sam and husband.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily likes it too.
That's good.
Yay! Can I? You see, I always
Sorry
feel
for interrupting.
No. I always feel very conspicuous now. You two do the entertaining stuff that the audience like, and I sit here until it ends and then go, right, boring news stuff.
I do that on the Classics podcast. I'm the one going, right.
Get a move on.
Sometimes I just gesture to Lucy and be like,
Yeah.
wind it up. We need to crack on.
Okay.
And then he gets told off afterwards.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. So the mini season goes from the 23rd to the 29th of August. It is not a mini season, it is a micro season. It is less than a week long, and we will just miss it because we arrive on the 30th, which is, I mean, yeah, it's a bit like that, but it's such a, what's the word? I want to say layover. Just, it's not a deep-rooted season, is it? It's more a surface level season.
It feels like they're testing the water a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, it's an international thing, isn't it? The Ultimate Princess celebration.
yeah.
So they might just kind of have to do this in line with some of the parks and things. It doesn't feel like the heart's in it. However, I do like rare meats, and I do like both those floats.
Like boar,
Yeah. Pheasants.
emu.
Very nice. Right.
Stop hitting the table.
New Year's Eve.
We're
soiree.
going to get you a cushion.
Oh, do please. I'd like that. Something fluffy I can fiddle
would,
with.
but I can't
It's
get
the
out.
problem. I have problems with my hands.
Can't get out of this doom buggy.
Okay. So, New Year's Eve soiree is on. They are selling tickets now. Obviously, it was cancelled last year because it was shut. But did they sell tickets at this time of year?
Yeah, they did. I'm sure they did.
Did
because
they?
Yeah, it was all planned to go ahead, wasn't it?
Year.
And then because it's not long after now that it all went south and everything started
Yeah.
shutting again. But at this point in time, I'm sure they were selling tickets.
Because I think they were selling Halloween as well because it shut the week
Yeah.
before Halloween, didn't it? And I was like,
But
oh,
they-
God, people will be so devastated.
They didn't cancel Christmas officially until quite late in the day, did they? They wanted to leave it as long as it possibly could. In fact, was it like 2 weeks before this that it was still, the Christmas season was still going ahead?
Because
So.
when they shut in October, they gave a reopening date of like the 5th of
That's
December,
right,
didn't
yeah,
they?
Yeah.
Cancel Christmas, cancel Christmas, cancel Christmas.
I mean, this is the thing about doing...
One of them sounds like that.
This is the thing about doing this trip this time is I'm far more confident because we've done it last minute that it will go ahead. Whereas if we were booking for December now, I'd still be going,
There's less time for it to go wrong, but there's lots for us to be doing.
oh yeah,
But we'll get on to that.
we'll get on to that. So, but they're having fireworks. And hang on, let me say this right. Fireworks with new special effects and entertainment options.
Ooh.
Options?
So there you go.
You can be entertained if you wish
You
to.
did look away.
So you may stand in a crowd in front of the castle, which is good. So I don't know what they're... I mean, this is a very limited capacity party to start with, isn't it? Maybe that's what they're thinking. Because I'm right in thinking they're still not doing fireworks in the park, are they?
Not at the moment. I don't think.
Regularly? No.
They'll set the scrim on fire on the castle if they do.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Because a lot of the actual rockets come
They're
out.
going straight out of it, yeah.
That's kind of
Hadn't even
worked
thought
out.
of that, has it?
It's kind of worked out well for Disneyland Paris, hasn't it?
Well, I guess they probably thought of that. They quite possibly would have not
Yeah.
done fireworks anyway.
Do you know, we said a couple, might have even been last week, we said, have we told our friends who we're going with the scrim on the castle? So I told them a couple of days ago, and I said, just managing expectations.
Via Messenger.
And I sent and I sent them a picture, and Kat said, you're joking, right? And I was like, oh no. So it's a good job we've pre-warned them.
And she also said, oh, well, let's hope that some of it's
Well,
out of its box by the
because
time we go, and we're going...
The second picture...
It will be.
the second picture showed there was a bit more of the tower revealed.
The tip.
So, just a tip. So they were saying, like, well, hopefully more will be revealed. And I thought, well, I don't think it's quite working that way. It's not like every couple of days that they do a bit more. So.
Yeah.
Did you say, but it's okay, it's not the best castle?
It is... What? Okay.
No, he's right.
No.
It's the second best castle
at
of all.
Disneyland Paris.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all right.
I thought you meant
Yes.
of the main castles.
If no one knows what we're talking about, that's because the first best castle is the Queen of Hearts castle in Alice's Curious Labyrinth.
Good. So the tickets for the soiree are available to buy at the town hall, online or on the phone. You can get a 10% discount with your annual passes, magic passes, or a 15% discount with your infinity passes. But you have to buy it in person at the town hall or on the phone. You can't buy it online and apply your discount.
Town hall, so formal, isn't it?
It really is, isn't it?
Good day, I would like to get my 15% discount, sir. Please.
But of course.
So the next thing is the exclusive pin trading event that's coming to Newport Bay. Now, they did these semi-regularly, but this isn't a pre-COVID thing. This is like I'd have to look up when the last one was, but I'm going to guess like 2017, 2018. They hadn't done them in a couple of years. And then they're back. So that's interesting. So there must be a market for them. The tickets are €55.
And for that you get one pin.
Well, it said... It was a bit inconsistent. It did say you get food and surprises.
You're not getting any pins.
I can give you food and surprises right here. There's no saying what the food will
If
be.
I paid €55 and the surprise was like Goofy coming out and doing a dance, I'd be very cross.
What about if it was Goofy and Max?
But then
I
it
need
said...
stuff giving to me.
Well, that's it. It said exclusive pins. So there will be exclusive
To
pins
buy.
there. But then it also said something about... codes for pins or access to pins. I would definitely want a pin included in this. I think it is. A few things that I read made it sound like there was an attendee's pin. But, I mean, it'd have to be really good. But I don't know. I do love pin trading as well. And from what I gather, it's a bit like a comic book fair. It's loads of other pin enthusiasts with their own things. And it would be... I mean, we've been to brick shows. Lego fans, we've been to brick shows. And it is just nice to wander around and look at other people's Lego. You know what I mean? It could be quite fun to just look at other people's pins. But €55, if more than one of you is going as well.
You can't make interesting structures and things there with pins. I mean, you could, I suppose, but...
You can have rare ones and full sets.
But like people having stalls, it'll just be some guy's pins, then you go to the next stall and it's some other guy's pins. And
Yeah.
But you know, like if it was me, I'd curate a certain. I'd have a certain style.
Yeah.
That would be mine, and you know, I'd theme.
But then you wouldn't want to trade them, would you?
Oh,
I'd theme my stall.
No, that's the thing.
You wouldn't want to trade them then,
Who's
would you?
trading
Well-
what they're trading? I bet they wouldn't trade my scrappers either. So...
The thing is, I'm not a pin trader, but the idea of it excites me.
Yeah, this is the thing. There's a real nerd in me that would just like to go because the atmosphere of those kind of events appeals to me. But you did the comic book scene for a long time, didn't you? The comic fair. And like I say, I've been to brick fairs and stuff. And antique fairs we go to a lot of. And there's an atmosphere that's just nerdy and lovely.
What's a brick fair?
Lego.
Right, okay.
I think that's the
all
collective
kinds of
term.
bricks.
thing.
Terracotta bricks.
Breeze blocks.
They all have different names, don't they? But collectively, they're called brick fairs, I think.
Okay.
We've been to a couple, haven't we?
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah, it does appeal to me, but €55 is steep. I'd be like, for entrance to something like that, I'd be like €10. And then
Would
you can
consider
shop
it
if
if
you're
it was
there.
8, wouldn't you? At €8, you'd bite their hands off, probably.
Well, I wouldn't expect food or surprises or anything if it was 8. I would just be like, 8, yeah, that'd be lovely. We'll go in, we'll have a mooch, you know.
Yeah.
But
Can they do away with the food and surprise and charge less?
Right. I imagine they could. They'd probably
I've been-
do away with the food and surprises and
If-
charge the same.
anyone has ever been to one or knows more about them than we do, please let us know. In fact, this is, you know, it would be a really good thing to vlog with this. I'm selling it on it now. Terrible time of year for us.
Next one, though, eh?
Next one. Yeah. It's, what was it, the 18th of September?
Put a pin in it.
Oh, very good. Should we end the live stream
Very
now?
good.
Is that it? Is that have we peaked? Yeah. Right, and then, it's Photo Pass Day. It's
Photo Pass Day.
I believe this is an annual thing. It might be more than an annual thing. I think they're trying to sell photo passes. But where there's additional photographers out, additional locations. There was 3 exclusive magic shots. Hugh's told you how he feels about magic shots. But if you're interested, it was Nick and
Just ding the bell. I don't know what she was going to say.
Nick and Judy from Zootopia are meeting in Discoveryland. Sisu from Raya and the Last Dragon is meeting magic shotting
Eating.
in Adventureland, and Lightning McQueen is magic shotting in the studios. Guess where?
Is it on Route 66 by any chance?
Route 66. Yeah.
Ka-chow.
Where
the
where is
entrance
static?
to-
Oh, right.
The entrance to. the
not
entrance.
during the ride.
No. And also there is a special Photo Pass Day
I've seen it.
logo pin. I quite like that pin, but we never get the
It looks
Photo
like a
Pass.
camera lens. It's with ears on it. It looks like the Photo Pass logo.
I am
Finest.
actually...
Photo Pass Day pin. Photo Pass Day pin.
Well, here's something to discuss now with Hugh, because we've never got the Disneyland Paris Photo Pass before. We've had the Florida one included in our ticket price, and we actually really love that. We're there for 2 weeks and we got all the ride photos, and you can do a lot with them. You get them in front of the castle and things. Never bothered with the Disneyland Paris one because shorter length of time. Hugh takes a lot of photos, but
Does it look like a bit like that?
It looks like
Okay.
the photo.
Right.
yeah.
You can't see that on there.
The Photo Pass logo.
Yeah.
But because we get a heavily discounted price with our annual passes, I think it's €59, and you get it for the full year. So if we do 3 trips or more, you get it all included. And we've got another family going with us now, and we're doing a group Disney bound. We're doing a 6-person Disney bound, and it would be nice to get some group shots. And you're not allowed to hand people your phones anymore,
No.
which you used to be able to do, not even cast members. So I'm thinking this time, it might be worth us getting, when we buy the annual pass, to upgrade to include the photo pass for €60 for a year. Still not. What about the group shots? Take them in a mirror. He's
We
not
always
convinced.
I'm just slowly shaking my head.
Can you explain your thinking?
I don't like Photo Pass. I don't like it.
Is that it? Is that all your...
Yeah.
That's all your reasoning?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like mind you, when it's character meets, you get a bit more freedom. Because sometimes they tell you exactly what to... Like, we did one on Main Street in Disney World, and I was just like, I hate this. The guy was like, he was just like, now do this, now do that, don't do that, do this. I'm like, I hated it.
But I think...
It wasn't like that in Paris when we've had the photo.
In
pass
Paris,
before.
normally it's like they're there at the meet, and you can kind of do what you want.
Yeah.
You know, so it's but
I have learned from the cruise recently as well. It's good to be firm with your photographer. It's good to say,
Yeah.
we're not really into doing all that sort of hand on hip and smiling stuff. Are we all right to have a bit of fun with it? And I think sometimes the photographer themselves can be a bit grateful for it, because they've also done 40 families before you, who all do the same pose and all this back to back and stuff.
Do you think that, or do you think you're messing with my system? Like
Maybe.
because like I said on the cruise, there was a woman on the top deck, and she I did a silly face, and then they always go, okay, now do a nice smile, and I just ignore them, and I continue to do a silly smile, but they don't ask you again, you know. And I'm not going to get in a conversation where I'm going to go, no, I'm going to do this one, thank you. If you just carry on doing what you're doing, they just go, okay, that's what he's doing. You know, you could say, well, this is my face. You know, this is just my face.
With the meet and greets, though, they do tend the snapping away when you don't know they're snapping away. So when you're doing all your hugs and your bit of banter with the characters, you do tend to get a lot of quite nice candid ones.
And the characters push you into poses to a certain extent as well. They do things with the way that they act with you to get you into certain positions. So there doesn't need to be that much speaking generally anyway.
Watch this space, guys. We'll tell you what we decide, and we'll let you know what our experiences are of the photo pass. Oh dear. I think you're telling you what
€60
for a year, for a full year.
Oh, for a year.
And
We
can
bought
get
it twice. We bought it both times we went, and I thought it was good value for money, all in all.
He's a grump, though, isn't he?
I know. I also I like not having
Not
to be
just
one of
that.
those people who go up to the ride pictures and go, oh, there's ours.
Oh, well, that's another thing that we never put on the news, actually. If they have put a very, very heavy watermark on it now. Now, they always did have a watermark, but this one is, you can't see the picture. You can see it enough to know it's yours, but certainly not to use. And I'm kind of like, fair enough.
That is fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a paid extra, it's a souvenir, and people were just ripping it for
Because when I get a little picture of it off the screen, it's just so I can like share it online and have a laugh with it.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know if they just had options, because they're so expensive, aren't they? Like if I could just get like a little square one for Instagram or something.
I think the digital option should be cheaper, personally, than it is. You know, if it was like €3 for a digital option, I think they'd sell 10 times as many, so it wouldn't need to be 30.
Like, do you charge a lot for? It's like The Apprentice, isn't it? Do you go for the big ticket items for a lot, or do you do a lot of little cheap ones? I like the little cheap ones personally. Mm-hmm. I'd be gobbling up like Yoshi.
I'm really interested. 60. You see, Mark Chester's saying €60 for the year bargain. I think it is €59 for the year. I think that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Other people, would you get Lucy, the rose between two thorns, and the font of all DLP knowledge? Do you hear that, guys?
Yeah. You just move you around there because I've got a clammy neck.
No.
She put her arms around and then she moved it because my neck is clammy.
That's lovely.
That's not something for radio. I did realise I might do you another slap. So, what are people thinking? What would you do with the photo pass, with your annual pass? Who gets it, usually? Take your time to answer. I'll move on, because everyone's typing, you see. Takes them a while. Right.
Typing with a thumb.
To be fair, the last bit of news was the Genie App. So we're going to put a pin in that. We're going to put a pin in that.
Righto.
While we talk about our current status of Disney planning.
Are you pausing for a jingle or something?
No.
Play something, anything.
Hang on. Oh no. What about?
No. It's fine. Okay. I'll talk over this one. It's inappropriate, but I'll talk over it. We've been trying to get our heads round the PCR and lateral... That's enough, Chris, thank you.
It's very quiet. It's really low in the mix. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. It's just irritating you.
We've been trying to get our head around the PCR testing. Now, we went to our friend's house yesterday, post-birthday party, as it was, to try and get these things sorted. We did the whole where we're going to park at the airport, what we're going to do, and it was decided, because we're coming back quite late and we're getting there very early, that we are going to pay the extra double, if I'm honest, which watered my eyes.
The thing, Chris, it was like, you know, or if it's 10 quid more or 20 quid more, okay, but it was double.
Well, I mean,
for the convenience of parking near and like, you know, not having to do the shuttle.
Yeah. $36.99 or $81.99, so it's more than double in actual fact. But you're not talking 200 and then double to 400, I suppose.
I like the convenience of the car parks there, I've got to say, but generally it's business when I do that. I wouldn't necessarily do it myself.
Well, I mean, to be honest, as a couple, we would bait shuttle. We're fine with shuttle. But when we thought about the timescales we're working on, also the fact that we mentioned last week, we intend to get there a lot earlier than we need to because we think it might be carnage at the airport. And it's it's a 11:10 flight, but that means you have to be there at 9:10. We've decided we want to be there at 8:10. You need to park your car at 8. We need to set off from here 7:15. You know what I mean? And then if you add, it's a 15-minute shuttle. No, 10-minute shuttle with roughly a 15-minute wait. It says every 15 minutes. Yeah. So that's 25 minutes with your luggage and 2 kids and pushchairs. So you've got to add that onto your factoring. So we'd have to get there at 7. You know what I mean? It all just adds up. So we thought, no, we'll just pay the money. It'll be easier.
Yeah, you do right.
So that was number 1 that we did. Number 2 we did was travel insurance. We never buy it. This is so boring, but guys. If you are going anywhere, you need to know this at the moment. And thing is, it was boggling us, wasn't it? It was boggling us. But we've always just got travel insurance through our joint bank account. We had it included, so we never think about it. We never pay for it. But when it was looked into by the friend we're going with is a solicitor. Very useful friend to have at this point. When it was looked into, she decided it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We needed COVID cover, and not just things that covering you getting COVID, but things that cover your people in your party getting COVID cancellation. So she found us some travel insurance. We got that. And then the next thing, do you want to talk about what's going on with these PCR tests?
Well, I can't because I didn't really understand a lot of it. we need to get a test before we go.
No, not to France.
No, we don't. See? I don't know.
You need to get tests. You
Before
need to get
we come back.
Test before you come back. Maximum 3 days, is it?
It's 3 days before. We're going to get it on the Friday.
And then you need to have already got tests for day 2 and 8 when you get back. Is that right?
Not day 8 if you double
Don't we need
vaccinate.
to get tested
that's right.
before we go then?
Not before we go to France. France don't require
France.
anything.
I just assumed we did.
No, these are UK laws for entering the UK, and it doesn't really matter.
And it doesn't match up with anywhere else in the same situation as us at
France
all.
don't care.
No.
They're
It's
like,
bureaucracy.
It's fine,
It is.
It's
In
fine.
fact,
come in, it's fine.
I watched a video this week from the Zoe COVID study. I don't know if you've been involved in that at all, the app that turned up about a year ago. And the guy there was saying, my experience of international travel throughout this period has been not very good at all, because it doesn't matter where you go other than the UK, you do not have these stupid things. If people are double vaccinated, generally it's been seen that it's okay and that's all you need to be. But yeah, the rules for coming back into this country are just a little bit over the top.
It's the one before you get in that's really inconvenient, but we'll get to it. I just want
It's
to point
paying
out
for it
Mark
all.
Riley has written out some little lyrics for us if you want to sing those, boys.
What shall we do with a PCR test? What shall we do with a PCR test? What shall we do with the PCR test? Lateral flow in the morning.
Very nice.
Scanning needed adjusting a bit there. I had to go lateral flow in the morning.
I'm gonna tweak it to lateral flow next morning.
Okay. Sorry to critique you, say.
Hooray, showing negative. Hooray, showing negative.
Thank you for that, Mark. He'll come back to you with a red pen round it later on. We've kind of bounced around. I'll just kind of summarise that. 3 days before you come back to the UK, you need to have a negative PCR or antigen tests. Antigen tests are a lot cheaper and there's no reason not to, so we're just getting an antigen test.
Ah.
Yeah. And then before you depart to go to France, you need to have pre-ordered a PCR test for your day 2 after you return, because you need to put the order number on your what we call it now, passenger locator form. And then when you come back, you need to do the day 2 test. So we started shopping for these day 2 tests, and what is really confusing is we found one at £55, thought we got a bargain because my dad went to Spain and paid like 90 something. And then we went on the government website and there was some for like $19.99, and we're going, what's wrong with them? You know what I mean? Generally, you think cheap is bad.
But basically, no, it's not. It's like the Dartford crossing, isn't it? If you go to the Dartford crossing and you search to pay, you search on the internet to pay for it, you will find third-party sites who are charging you to do the admin of the work, and by filling out their form, they then take your information and fill out the actual form. Whereas if you go to the correct site, which I think might be government site as well, then you just do it all yourself and there's no problem. So it's exactly that.
Wow.
So what I would suggest, Lucy, is if you let me have the link to the government site, I will put that in the chat so that any of you who are travelling off at any point, go and use the government one, because if it's cheaper, that'll be why, because it's not third party getting in the way of it all.
But wasn't the thing that...
I mean, these are all third-party testing things.
Yeah,
We've
no,
got the
yeah,
prices
yeah,
next to
yeah,
them,
yeah.
But some of them will just...
Well, the government
bump
shouldn't
it
be
up a bit.
trying to over the top make money out of it, should they? So
No. So, yeah, so that threw us. So we spent a lot of time kind of going back and forth, looking at prices, going, but why is that one 45 and then that one's this and what's this? Blah, blah, blah. The one that we'd settled on, we tried to buy and it was out of stock. But what threw a spanner in the works is there was a misunderstanding. One of our party was adamant that when you got a PCR test, you had to self-isolate until you got the results, which is correct if you are showing symptoms, or you live with someone who's showing symptoms, or you've been in a bubble where someone's got coronavirus. You have to go and you have to self-isolate. However, if you're just getting one basically for the sake of getting one, which is what you're doing when you come back from a foreign trip, you've no symptoms, you've no reason to believe that you've got it, you don't have to self-isolate. But both Hugh and Bonnie needed to be back at work/school on the Wednesday.
School for me, work for Bonnie.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we were then looking at paying the extra for the 12-hour turnarounds and stuff like that, so that they could get back to work and school. I'm fine. I'm not back at work till Saturday.
You want them out of your hair though. Let's be honest.
But, so then we had to go research that. You do not, guys, that was incorrect. You do not have to self-isolate. You can go back to work the minute you get back off that plane if you need to, as long as you take the test on day 2. So that kind of settled it. And then we went back to buy it. If you're double vaxxed. If you're not double vaxxed, I have no idea what you do.
Then you do. You have to quarantine for 10 days.
Bonnie doesn't have to take the pre-departure. Bonnie is 6, but anyone aged between 5 and 11, I think, doesn't have to take the pre-departure test, as in the one in Paris.
No, just, yeah.
But she does have to take the day 2 one. Peter is 3, doesn't have to take anything. I know. But I mean,
You posted on Facebook about this yesterday, and I went, "Oh well, this is easy." I looked on the site. This is really easy. It makes absolute sense. It doesn't at all.
And I'll be honest.
Every single person.
I'll be honest, Chris. I was a bit like, "Yes, we've read that."
You know what I mean? She was a bit.
I was like, you just posted
like,
about the page I've been on all day, and I was like,
all you can go on is what the government say.
I know.
If it's on that government page, then do what they say. Ignore everybody and everything else,
Yes.
because that page is updated on a regular basis.
Well, the thing is, we had a lawyer on it. We had a solicitor on this, and she was the one getting him on. I'm going, I don't think that's the case.
It's like I said last week. Some people are going to look at this and go, "Forget it."
Yeah,
Forget it.
Like, I almost don't blame him.
Yeah.
So
it feels like, it makes me nervous. It feels like there's so many moments where someone at some stage is going to go, "Whoa, hang on, you've got the wrong so and so here. You got the wrong form. You got the wrong this. You got the wrong, just like." But is it okay?
I've also heard
come in, please?
on the grapevine, I would never put any water in this vessel, but the not being the most diligent at immigration and things, because of the workload and the lack of training and the lack of staffing. Apparently it's all, well, I've heard a few people say it's all for naught in the end. You do all this, I didn't even check it. But not for a second would I say risk that or fake anything or,
No, that's like when people go, "Oh, you don't need a ticket for that train." They never check.
Yeah.
You always get the ticket.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Don't take that chance.
Exactly.
And also,
it's honest.
Pay your way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's one of our family mantras. Like,
Yeah.
we order way too much tapas, we're always on time, and we pay our way.
But
Not like Lannisters who always pay the debts. We don't even get into debt.
I always take the half bottle of wine home from a party rather than leave it for the host, though. Let's get into the morals of that later on. That was back when I drunk. Right. Let's talk about some of the fun stuff to do with the trip, shall we? We've booked Captain Jack's. Woo. So that's kind of our one big treat meal that we tend to have. Although the little boy amongst us is a big Marvel fan, and we really want to go to the Marvel Hotel. And so we might end up booking a Marvel Hotel meal as well. There was no availability for anything for, well, I say weeks. We haven't been looking at it for weeks, but for like 10 days, I think I mentioned last week. And then the site was down, because I was checking every couple of hours. The site was down, and when it came back up, boom, availability for everything. So I think it's gone again now. But I'm going to try and get one for the meal in the Art of Marvel Hotel. But that is also another very expensive meal, and we tend to just do one if we're not on a dining plan. So we might have to see about that.
Oh, listen to this. There's lots going on in the chat today. Sorry, guys.
Tell me what's going on in the chat.
Well, Ruth says, I got back on Wednesday. It wasn't all that stressful, actually. They didn't check mine, but I know they do random spot checks. That's why I thought it would be spot checks. So, you best, do what they're telling you to do.
It's like when you drive and you get pulled over at the train. We did the first time we went. We got pulled over to one side.
Yeah,
you basically
we did.
got everything out of the car.
No, they didn't get
They
everything out
checked
the
through
car.
absolutely everything. Then
Bob's saying
get on our
hello.
way.
It's
Hello,
just
Bob.
it's just
Hi,
passing
Bob.
through.
See you later.
Have fun.
Good to see you.
Don't leave any marks on the way.
Mark Riley with a Q is also going
Hello, Mark.
to Jack's
Yay!
and downtown.
Oh yeah, well those are our two things. We like this on downtown.
Downtown's the one that we didn't know what it was last week.
Well, I thought that doesn't ring a bell. I looked. There's also the Manhattan restaurant, and I think it was the Manhattan restaurant I'd been looking at.
I'm also going to say hello to Adele and
Hi, Adele.
Steve Johns, but actually, because he capitalises the second part, it's Steve Johns!
Steve Johns.
Who else we got? I think we got Emily and Sam early, didn't we? Yeah. And Natasha has just shown up as my old singing teacher. She's not old. Just that she used to.
It's a good job she didn't
She's
hear you singing Drunken Sailor then.
She's a lot younger than me. She says, when are you going to Paris? We're still going in October. We are staying at the Marble Hotel.
8 days and what? Look at you living it up.
Natasha, send us like a little, just a little like 2 or 3 minute review or something, like record it on your phone. We'll play it on the show.
We will.
Yes, do.
We'll do it on the show.
He's got his little doozy and that I'm breaking.
Wreck the joy.
Broken.
And he can load videos and pictures in and then play them at will, guys. And he needs to use his toys.
Yeah, and I can imagine that.
It's
Yeah.
all I'm good for. Give me something to do. Come on.
Yeah, I want to see. And her husband, by the way, has the most perfect ears you have ever seen in your life.
That's good for a singing teacher, isn't it?
I got a picture of him once.
Wow. All right then. Things have gone a little bit sideways again. So we've got Captain. Oh, we were doing the list today, the bucket list, and Hugh said, "I've ridden everything. I don't think I've got."
There are no rides left, but then Lucy pointed out there is one new ride.
And there's a renovated ride.
It's the tram tour.
How exciting.
We also have little ones
St.
with
Jeremy
us.
Irons.
Little ones with us. So we're going to go see Studio D.
Yeah.
There's new meet and greets in Nautilus that you're not a big steampunker, but we both love the Nautilus.
Never liked steampunk. I do like Discoveryland because it's like the original steampunk, isn't it? You know, it's Jules Verne stuff, but steampunk. Aesthetically, I don't enjoy it. It leaves me cold.
Well, I quite like the outfits that they've got, particularly. I'm hoping it's Daisy when we go.
A steampunk Minnie or Mickey could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping it's Daisy when we go. I quite like her steampunk outfit. What we'll have to see. So we do have our bucket list going on there. I want to go back to Annette's because it's the middle range meal, and we wrote it off, and I think we need to revisit it. So I'd like to kind of do you a bit of a review.
Also,
on
I had a
Annette's.
hot dog, and hot dogs are always disappointing. But we've started eating a lot of hot dogs at home, haven't we?
Our daughter is very fussy.
So I'm used to the rubbish taste because the hot dogs, they're rubbish.
Generally.
Even a good one is rubbish.
Oh, no, I found some good ones. But yes, you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm willing to go back and have and Annette's it's alright. It's fun. I guess it's got that big lady inside.
Who doesn't like a 12-foot lady?
That's not someone who works there. That's like a big statue.
Annette.
Yeah. My mum's called it Annette.
There you are.
But that isn't one of my passwords or anything to do with my banking. So you know,
I've got an idea.
tough luck.
Hugh, I've got an idea for your bucket list.
Yeah.
So you've been on all the rides. Why don't you start going on the rides with your eyes shut, and then periodically open them and see where you think you are on the ride at that point in time?
Do you know, Chris? I play a game very similar to that
on the bus
in life.
Oh.
But what I do is, and my example of this. Sorry, Lucy, this will be brief. It will be. My example, my favourite example of this is I knew our friend who we're actually going on this trip with. I'd seen him in a couple of shows, and once I saw him walking across the car park of the pub we used to go to, and I thought, oh, there's that guy from those plays.
Before we really knew him.
And before we'd met him, then I was going to play with him, and now we're neighbours and really good mates. So once we were driving to a mutual friend's stag party to Liverpool, and I play this game, and also a writer, I forget his name. He also plays this game. I was like, oh, he plays the same game as me. I imagine I've just woken up from like a dream, or I've been shunted into the present from the past suddenly.
Oh.
And I imagine in my head, and all the while he was driving down the motorway, no idea I'm doing this.
He said he wasn't going to take long.
Yeah.
I know.
So what I do is I imagine I've just woken up, and I try and work out where I am, and then I look at him, and I'm like, that's that guy that I used to see in those plays. Why am I in a car with him? I know this is weird, but I do this all the time.
That payoff just wasn't worth it, was it?
No, not at all.
No, I want to know if anyone else plays this weird game, because people do play it.
We play top box bicycle canoe. Have you ever played that? You get 2 points for a top box, 3 points for a bicycle, 10 points for a canoe. It has to be on a moving vehicle, right? But if there's 2 bicycles, for instance, it's a multiplier, so you get 3 times 3 points for 2 bicycles. And if there are 3 bicycles, you get 3 times 3 times 3 points, and so on.
We'll
It's
have to
good fun.
remember that to play next time we're driving to Disneyland Paris.
David Sedaris is a writer. He plays the same game as me in his head. And when I heard a story from playing it, I was like, I do that too.
We're watching Walking Dead, so I try and look around the room and think, how would I survive a zombie apocalypse? in
Lucy,
this
you're
room?
getting a little bit off topic now.
Oh my goodness! Right, okay. So, so I think, like I say, we're doing a show next week, and we will be mere hours away from setting off next week. So we'll go into more details then. But
I didn't tell you my bucket list.
I'll go on then. Bucket list for this time. I mean,
think-
you want a pineapple whip, don't you?
Binto.
Mango whip.
A mango whip.
Mango whip.
Oh God, what if they stopped doing them?
But they just moved them to another place again.
My bucket list has always been, as you're going on the ride, is like I look into a restaurant and I think, even though I don't like the seafood, I want to go and sit in Jack's restaurant, and now we are. I think I want to go and Crush again because that was the last ride I did of all, like so I could tick off every ride, all done. Crush was the last one. I kind of want to do that again because I've only done it once.
Yeah.
And, is that it? I think that's about it.
You're going to pay for a fast pass for it?
Oh.
It's not on my bucket list.
Do you know, I did think, just because of the podcast and vlogging and stuff, not for the family, not for all 6 of us, if it would be worth €8 to just me buy one and experience it, but I think it would be so anticlimactic. It wouldn't be worth €8.
You need what for what?
A fast pass.
Oh yeah. You need a glotini still, don't you?
I've never had a glotini.
You're always saying I'm gonna have this time. I'm gonna have a glotini.
Thing is, it's just a glowing ice cube in a martini glass, basically, and I keep talking myself out of it with that, and then I see somebody on Instagram or on Twitter with a glotini. I'd be like, oh, I want to sit in the Disneyland Hotel with a glotini.
Last time
Can't
we
sit
went,
in Disneyland Hotel though.
because there was a couple of trips where I was like, this time can we go to Earl of Sandwich just to see what the fuss is, and we didn't. And last time I was like, right, we are going, and we went twice. And the second time, Lucy was very sick.
I don't know if it was Earl of Sandwich. I don't know it wasn't Earl of Sandwich. Just for the record. Right. So we'll give you full planning next time. Oh, should we even describe our 6-person Disney bound? We'll do it next time because we need to talk about.
Let me guess.
Yeah. What 6 characters could we possibly be?
It's a tough one.
The Sinister Six from Spider-Man. Lucy's going as Mysterio. She's got the fishbowl.
So, Disney Genie.
Yes.
The internet went. Do you know what amused me this afternoon? I am on a lot of Disney forums on Facebook, and at maybe 3:00 this afternoon, I was flicking through Facebook, and somebody on one of the Disney World forums went, "What's this Disney Genie everyone is talking about?" And the reason that was such a face barrier is because if you have been on any Disney internet at all this week, it lost its collective mind.
It's like, where have you been?
Yeah.
But it's like the guy I heard at Walt Disney World saying to a cast member, where do I get a fast pass? She was like, oh, where do I begin?
Yeah. It's like, well, you need to just don't bother. So, very briefly, because this is not a Walt Disney World show, but we're going to talk about how, because we knew that when we got Premier Access announced that this was going to bleed over the ocean, and I think the operations of this company are very symbiotic, so we need to know what's going on where. They've got rid of fast passes, which is a huge thing in Disney World because every single ride and attraction had fast pass. In Disneyland Paris, it was only 8? I think it was 8 of the top ones.
The big hitters.
The big hitters. It was every single one in Walt Disney World.
Basically anywhere where they could fit in the queue.
Yeah,
extra queue.
Meet and greets, everything. Wherever there was a queue.
Space.
And well, no, I don't think there was anything where they didn't. Really. So maybe the treehouse. Anyway, big deal. So they brought it back paid. Now, they start off the presentation not telling you about that. They've got this Genie app, and this is tailored itineraries. So what you do is you tell them what rides are your must-do for the day, or you say, I'm a princess fan, or we're a family with small children, or we are thrill seekers, and then it customises an itinerary for you. And then this is on the devil tablet, yeah. And then as your day goes on, if you miss something or don't do something or change your mind or go off and do your own thing, it'll constantly be updating and changing this itinerary. Now, this is a way of fast passes were always a way of distributing crowds where Disney wanted the crowds. It's like they drop a few more fast passes for a certain ride to get people there, to get them on, when they were getting to hide things. It's basically just crowd management. But it felt like choice. Well, it was choice at the end of the day, but it was just their way of going, are you sure you don't want this nice shiny object over here? Now, it will still be choice. You don't have to do what they say, but they are physically trying to say, right, you're going to start in Fantasyland today. And then, of course, they're able to tell another group of people, you're all starting in Discoveryland. So they're trying more evenly distribute it out. Then...
That sounds potentially like a good, sensible idea.
If you are following the itinerary, now it's yet to be seen how many people will choose to allow themselves to be led in this way, if that makes sense. Who will enjoy it, who will stick to it, how successful it will be in doing what it's meant to do. It should be good for the guest and the company, but it really depends on how... I mean, I'm a big phone user, I'm ashamed to say, but when we're on family holidays, I make a real conscious effort not to be.
Well,
and it does sound like you're going to walk around the park like that.
I did a quick... If I knew it was going to be so popular, I'd done like a decent version, but just on my phone I made a picture of people all looking at the phones in a Disney park, and I said, that magical Disney experience, and then people going this, or like just emojis going like nail on head. But yeah, it's I think also, like, you look at your phone all the time, but I feel like we're just becoming data now in the parks. We're like, it's like, in the Matrix where he's looking at the screens and he's just looking at all the code.
Yeah.
And he's going, I don't see the code anymore. I just see blonde, brunette, redhead. I feel like we're just code now, and they're just kind of smushing us around and it's spreading us evenly. That's what we are.
Now, to be fair, that is what's happening. That was always what was happening with magic bands. It was a real Big Brother thing, and it really added to our experience. We loved magic bands, but you mustn't blink at yourself. They were just tracking you. They knew they knew what your patterns were. They knew how often people went for snacks and things like that, and they used this data. To be fair to it, there is a company called Touring Plans. It's an online company, and they're the guys who do the Disney Dish, which is one of my favourite Disney podcasts. And they basically had a paid service like this. And being a geek, I used it. They had all the data. They had all the algorithms to work out the most efficient way of doing things. You would put in what you wanted to do on a day. They would work out the most efficient way of doing it, just like I described. And I felt like, because it wasn't Disney doing it, it was me going and searching for that service, and it was my secret weapon, and I was a geek, and it was very good.
You feed into it.
You do, because you verify the wait times.
Yeah.
You can play along, as it were.
That's how they get the numbers.
That's like
the Waze sat-nav app. It's a very similar thing. You put your sat-nav on, it tells you where you're going and what you're doing, but you actually report the traffic as you go and how fast things are going and if the road works and all that sort of stuff. So the things that you're seeing are actually probably more up to date than they would be if you were just following a regular sat-nav.
Yeah.
You're actually using live, fresh data from other people who
I
do
love
the same
that.
thing. It's the same as the Zoe COVID study as well. It's exactly the same thing. People are going in there daily saying, I feel fine, or I've got a bit of a headache, I've been and had a test and I'm not positive, and it's helping them say, well, actually, this is what we think is an accurate representation at the moment.
Well, I like that because I navigate, because I don't drive, and I say to Lucy, well, there'll be a traffic jam in about a mile. But so
So the jury's really out on that. We need to see how well it works, how popular it is. But that's free. And that's what they lead with. We've got this news. They always start with the press releases with, we've listened to our guests.
They said, great, we've got a great new service for you.
So they've kind of tested this out with DLP anyway, haven't they? Kind of, in a different kind of way, because about this time last year when everything opened up again, a bit earlier than this time last year, they added these features to the app, if you remember, that were let us help you plan your perfect day. Tell us what your interests are, tell us this stuff, and then it brings you up a list and says, go on Dumbo, go and do this, blah, 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 blah. Now, it wasn't using live data to say where and when you should go. It's still there on the app now.
Yeah.
But it is kind of helping you plan things, and in that kind of help kind of way, I can see a benefit to it.
I can see the people we're going with have never been before, and they've done no research. I think they've done no research because they know they're going with us.
But also, sometimes you don't want to know. You just want to go and be like, right, let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
But and I mean,
what I do.
when we chat to them, they don't know that Dumbo is a ride. They don't know that there's the things that people often miss are like Casey Jr., stuff like that. So if they were to go onto that section and say we are 2 adults with a 3-year-old and get a personalised itinerary to do Dumbo and to do Casey and to do the storybook things, stuff they might have missed, that is good for them. I found the Disneyland Paris version a little bit rudimentary.
I did as well.
It was just listing
I
rides.
think it will be about as useful as when Spotify goes, we've got some great tracks for you. We've looked at what you listen to and you go, you look at what they've suggested and you're like, you don't know me, computer. You've no idea what I listen to. You've no idea.
So the second sort of thing they led on to, once they'd got you that, once they were telling you they were doing it for you and it was free, they then kind of slipped in, and this is where it relates to the Disneyland Paris thing, because we have just introduced Premier Access, where it is pay per ride in the park on it. Now this
For certain rides.
For certain rides. Genie Plus is unlimited fast passes, but only one at a time, across all 4 parks if you've got a hopper ticket, and it's $15 per person per day, which is about £12. So it would be £36 additional for us per day to do the fast passes.
That, I mean, like, you could go, all right, it's a bit more, but let's do 4 days where we do that. Let's just
one day in each park where we do that.
Yeah. And that's okay. It's not as good as it was, but it's like, all right.
And as someone quite rightly pointed out, if they increased the ticket price by $15 a day, you probably wouldn't bat an eyelid or notice. Do you know what I mean? You would just like, oh, that's how much it's costing us. But they're doing it as an add-on. You can buy it from midnight the night before. So this isn't something you buy from your travel agent in advance.
So you can't have already paid for it and forget about it and not worry about it, which is silly, because if you did that, then people would just add it on, wouldn't they?
They would, more readily, I think. But I think they also want, like Disneyland Paris they want you to be stood in the ride queue going, sod this for a game of soldiers, pay. And then, now this one's a bit sticky because there used to be a lot of perks for staying on site, which is an expensive option, and they've all gone, basically. You don't get free magic bands, you don't get free airport transfers, you have to pay for parking, just all sorts of things have gone. But what they've given us in return is that everybody else can book their paid fast pass from park opening time, but hotel guests can book it from 7 a.m. And I'm like, so my perk is I have to wake up and look at my phone at 7 a.m.
Do you know what? It's not so bad for us travelling in that direction. We'll be up at 6 a.m. anyway, won't we? But after a few days,
if there's a ride you really want to ride and you know that the early fast passes go quick, and it's not just having to be up at that time, it's having to be up and be on your phone. It's the first thing you have to do. Leave the kids in bed, stand up and go.
What happens if you're on your own, or you're the only one with a smartphone and it conks out?
Don't know.
You're jiggered.
This is what people have been asking for 10 years, ever since they started putting apps and restaurant bookings and things like that on it.
Well, they need reliable Wi-Fi everywhere, don't they?
They do.
Well, there's that as well, yeah.
That's going to go crazy. But what I haven't told you yet is not every ride is on this service anymore.
Okay.
So your very popular rides. Now, the thing is, in the US, the very popular rides are a different creature to the very popular rides in Paris, because you're talking 5-hour waits anyway. Or for things like Flight of Passage, Rise the Resistance.
Yeah.
So they are an additional paid extra, similar to the Premier Access in Paris. Now, this is where I start to worry. Now, in Paris, I think so few people will choose that option that the impact on the regular guest, particularly because it's coupled with, well, I think, you actually explained this to me, Chris, and I thought Chris has got a very good point about this. When coupled with the standby pass, I think that everyone's experience will be improved, and I actually think, initially I was like, but I think it's better. I don't think Disneyland Paris will make much money out of it, because I think it's overpriced. But I think that's a good thing. Now, when it comes to Rise of the Resistance, The current thing is you have to be on your phone again at 7 a.m. to try and get a boarding group, and they sell out by 1 minute past 7. And people fly to Florida, they only have 1 day in Hollywood studios and they don't get that pass. Now you give someone the option to pay for it, to guarantee they can do it. You can put any price you want on it, and Disney know this, and everyone's going to do it. But what they've done then is they've priced other people. Like I said when we did our on Premier Access thing, there's certain things you expect to be included in your Disney experience. The rides and the parades and just things like that, you just expect them to be there. But they're making the most popular ride basically paid extra. Yeah. And I can't see... The only way they could do it is to limit the number of fast passes available. But why would they do that? Why... Really, logistically, why would they do that? So I'm really worried for Flight of Passage, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and particularly Rise of the Resistance, those three. I just think they're making it a paid experience. I don't think you will get on it if you don't pay now, and I think that is morally reprehensible. I might be wrong. It might not work out like that, or it might only be $2 to ride it, which I doubt. It'll either be $2 or $40, you know. But it's I've got a very, very bad taste in my mouth about that section of it. Now, if they didn't make those popular rides part of the $15 a day, and they stayed with the trying to get boarding groups or the standby pass, which is a nightmare as it is, but it's free, I would forgive them for that. Banging on the table again. But the way this is going, it just doesn't feel right. Thoughts?
I think you've summed it up. You get photo passing that for $15, don't you?
The Genie one.
Only for the day you pay the $15.
I'm just saying, that's the one perk.
The Genie one is, it's got its pros and I think mostly cons, but it does have some pros. But what's going on in Paris, I just, like I said before, I hope it's a flop, because
I think it will be,
because it's, like I say, it's literally, you know, before you go, oh, just a second, we're going to let some fast pass people through, and you go, all right, fair enough, fast pass, you know, good on them, clever, smart, thought ahead. But now it's like going, hang on, peasant, they've paid more than you. You just wait. That's what it feels like now. And
the argument is not good enough for me. The argument is, well, everywhere else is doing it. So I'm surprised they've lasted this long. That's what I saw. Loads of people saying.
Always the Disney difference, though. There was always the Disney difference, and Disney is a premium experience. It's like the Disney cruise. You pay a premium for the Disney cruise compared to something like Royal Caribbean, but the idea is that you feel the difference, and it should. I just think it should be the same at Disney World. I don't mind the $15 a day because of the argument they could have upped the ticket price by that much and you would have done it. And this way, it's optional. You could choose to have that $15 discount or go for it, or just do it 4 days, like you say.
That equates to the old Fast Pass then, doesn't it?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know how many will be available and things like that. It all remains to be seen. Now, another channel that we watch, Braden from Mickey Views.
I missed this. He did a live stream, didn't he?
And it disappeared off the channel.
Is it not there? Is it not?
It might do. We can have a hunt for it.
I love him. He's a young lad, but he's brilliant.
He's very analytical in the way he looks at Disney, and he seems to have really good insights. And
have you seen him, Chris?
No.
Mickey Views. He's great. He's great. He's impressive.
He's good. He tweeted today. You've made me lose my train of thought. I've lost my train. Oh yeah, he tweeted today saying, "Note, when Disney don't only release part of a product, there's a good reason for it, and they're waiting to find out your reaction to the first part. So let them."
What's coming?
Yeah, exactly. So let them know what you think, because this could all change. So if they haven't released when you say what's coming, what he's saying is they haven't released the prices or the list of rides that is on that service.
I thought you were going to say there's going to be a second app. So there's Genie, but then there's also Jafar Evil Genie. Evil Genie app, which is what could that be?
Yeah,
that's £1,000, but you can get what you want.
You see, Disneyland Paris did the same. They announced Premier Access and didn't tell you the prices, and then sort of waited. And even now, I think they're kind of looking at going, What's everyone think?
Can we get away with
What
this?
does everyone think of that? Are people getting it? What's going on?
I just hope it like the Paris one. It just doesn't just settle down. Everyone gets used to it, and then people just start paying it, and then we go, "Oh, do you remember when this used to annoy us?" But now we pay it.
I do.
I hope they scrap it.
I think it'll be few enough people, and I'll think, well, we've been loads of times before. It's your one trip. Go on, you go ahead of us. You've paid for it. I think it'll work the way it's meant to work. The way they've priced it.
Mark Riley says, I think you should do the Premier Access test. Lucy goes through Premier Access and Hugh through normal queue. Who's happier?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That
Actually,
is with the 2 cameras.
But yeah.
See how it goes.
But I think it'd be pretty obvious. It'd just be me going, "Oh God, this guy's breathing down my neck." Oh God! Oh, that kid just pushed in. Kid just pushed in.
He's coughing again. Coughing again.
I'm here with the pros reporting live from the standby queue, and Lucy's just going, "Oh."
Yeah.
I'm here for
towards
this
the
video.
glittering light.
Yeah. Maybe we will,
Eyes
Mark.
shining. So just to finish off what I was saying there, they haven't released the prices for which rides will be on that list. And like Braden said, this gap between announcing and announcing, I think, is a real kind of test the temperature time. So what he was basically saying is encouraging people to be as vocal as possible on their thoughts. And I think there might be something in that.
I like the idea that they press enter on the second part of it.
And then I'll sit back and
But
go.
no, it's literally a guy going, "Oh no, I dare, you press it. No, I dare. You press it. Oh no, I'm going to press it. Oh, go on. Oh, I've done it. I've pressed it. Oh God. What are they going to say?
Imagine if it's your job to just troll through comments. Mind you, they send that out that many questionnaires. I think it'll just... Right. I think that's it.
Well, it's interesting you should say that. I brought along with me from my wing of the house, obviously not that far, but I did drive from my wing to here in the pouring rain. All of the things that we've got for the Patreon prizes, but I've left them over there out of reach. So I could go and get them if we want to see them, if we want to waste the time. But we don't have to waste the time.
Well, you'll
because
have to
it seems
stop
like a
your
thing.
car first.
Well, I can do that. But also, we got a new Patreon, Disney Street Pal, last week. It's Claire. And as some of you may remember, when we get new Patreon peeps, we give them the opportunity to ask Hugh to give them a shout out. Now, in the past, we've had voices and songs and all. What have we had?
Yeah.
Kermit singing.
Kermit doing Show Yourself.
Yeah.
Show yourself. I'm dying to meet you. It's my turn.
We had Tito singing something as well, didn't we?
Tito?
Isn't that what he's called? The little dog from Oliver and Company.
Oh, the...
Was it doing...
Okay. Well, no, that's Pepe. Pepe the prawn.
It was doing the rap from
Yeah.
Moana from
Yeah.
You're Welcome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was awful. But Claire said, can you do Jack Sparrow and anything, really?
Well, do you know what? Early today I couldn't, but I've been drinking rum for this entire podcast. So, Claire...
Do you want him to do that while you go get the
Yeah, do you want to
prizes?
play the music?
Is there anything in particular she wants me to say?
She didn't. No, she just said something Jack Sparrow.
So, okay, something
If you want
Jack
to,
Sparrow.
If you want to do that, there's the Pirates music, Pirates of the Caribbean music
Go on,
there.
press it. Okay. This isn't going to be very good, but Claire, what's he say?
Savvy.
It just says savvy.
Mate.
I'd just like to thank you, Claire, for becoming a patron. I've been drinking all the rum, Claire, and I want to thank you again, mate. This is not working for me, Chris.
No, it's not. You're usually much better
Let
than
me look
that.
at my notes.
Up your game.
I wrote notes. I said,
Don't let Hugh drink.
I want to thank you from the bottom of me bottle of rum, mate. There, that's it.
Yeah.
I was going to sing Yoho, Pirate's Life for Me, but Jack Sparrow's a very difficult one to do.
I think you should sing Careless Whisper as Jack Sparrow.
Careless Whisper, why?
Why not?
Let's get the lyrics up. Careless Whisper.
Just for future reference, Hugh, you know, is it worth like giving a bit of an idea of your repertoire, so that people can see your comfort zone rather than throwing things that you're not so sure about at you? because Sam Metcalf is a new patron, Disney Street Pal as well.
I do a great Stitch. I can do various Muppets. Star Wars characters, good at those. Anything like really silly I can do. But something like Jack Sparrow, which is kind of just a man. But, you know. Chris just placed a book on the table, which made us all go, Careless Whisper. I'm never going to dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, mate. So it's easy to pretend I know you're not a fool. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it, mate? Savvy?
That was better.
Very good.
You relaxed into it.
You needed a script, didn't you?
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent.
The green screen's going to make all this stuff disappear when I show it anyway.
Okay.
But, so I'll show you this first. I'm covering up the price tag on it because I can't pick it off. This is like a triptych of Winnie the Pooh.
Triptych.
Yeah, it's just Winnie the Pooh canvases. There's
Triptych.
Winnie the Pooh on one of them. There's Tigger on one of them.
I'd say triptych.
Triptych, thank you. And there's Ruan Ganger on one of them as well.
Some nice canvas prints.
Yeah, be nice for like a nursery or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah,
it would be.
This is my personal favourite because I love this series of books.
This is what made us go, oh.
Yeah,
I want it.
this is the Mickey Mouse Taschen book. Look at it. Oh, it weighs an absolute ton.
Look at it, listeners.
Can I win this?
It's got a. You can become a patron, Disney Street Pal, and you could win it. Yeah.
We'd get.
I don't
It's
really
a great
like.
book as well.
We'd get in a lot of trouble if Lucy won that book.
It's a really good book, and I've got a couple of. I've got this one, and I've got two others as well myself. I've got Star Wars one, which she's got.
Yes.
And,
Great Bob book.
Yeah, and also the Walt Disney Archives one, which is really good as well. Charts all of the films that he was involved in. Then in this little box here, exclusive, never to be repeated because Disney banned us from ever repeating it. 37 Disney Street mug and stickers. Ooh, they're Disneyland Paris stickers. In fact, look at that. Hey, hey. Hugh drawing, but I don't have an example of a Hugh drawing. Have you got one?
I do. I've got the drawing I did of Mercedes for her 30th. I did her as... This is Mercedes from from Chat Disney, and I did her as Jasmine.
Nice.
She's her favourite princess. So, anything like that, kind of you as a character or something like that. A little fun little drawing maybe.
These are the coasters, the pyrography
I love these.
guy do as well. So there's Panchito Pistolas.
So these are... He hasn't done them yet, has he?
He hasn't. These
are ours.
These are our ones, yes. There's...
Chris is
Was it
holding
karaoke?
up some beer mats made of wood.
And there's a very cute looking Donald, I think. He's very cute. There he is. There you go.
So Bob's going to donate some of those.
4 of them, he said. He'll do 4 of them. A
And
set.
do they get to request a
You
theme?
can choose what you like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got... then the other thing I've got is a box here. I mean, you can have the box. You can win the box. I don't see why not. It's quite a nice box. It's just got stuff in it, that's all. I just need to move this keyboard. There you go, you have that. And in the box, what have I got? I don't even know. I packed this up ages ago. Ooh! I've got the Walt Disney World That Never Was book, which is a really good book. It's all about different rides at Walt Disney World. Some that were never built, some that then became other rides, those kind of things. Really interesting book. We've got Where's the Wookiee in paperback. It's a bit like Where's Wally, but with Wookiees. And then once you finish that, there's a hardback version of Where's the Wookiee 2, which is like Where's the Wookiee, but a sequel. And then I've also got, when Hugh and Lucy went to DLP in the summer last year, they brought back a bunch of the DLP coins for me. Now, I've got my own set of these, and these are my spares, which I think I've sent a few out in the post to people over the last year or so. But these are the ones I've got left. So there's 6 DLP coins from... most of them have got 2020, and I think 1 or 2 of them might have 2019 on them.
How are we breaking these prizes down?
Well,
Is it one big mega prize?
Because that is a really, really good mega prize.
I don't know. I mean...
Or is it 3 prizes, three separate little bundles?
I think 3 bundles is probably the way to go, yeah. I think because I think we've got some really good prizes in there, and then we'll work out what balances nice and evenly. So it's not like a first, second, and third. It's like 3 firsts. They're just all slightly different. I think that works. Yeah.
Cool.
And
there's other things. We're finding them all the time.
Yeah.
And a bottle of Hella sauce.
Yes. I just wanted to show these because, and then I'll stop going on about it because I know I've gone on about it for the last couple of weeks. But I'm really, really grateful to everybody who's joined us on Patreon and contributed. But we're actually very close to reaching the target. We've got we already have £47 already.
Yay.
We've had extra bits from a couple of people who've joined over the last couple of weeks, and with those people who subscribe to it and pay every month, from the 1st of September we'll have another amount going because it pays on a monthly basis, which is going to take us up to around the £80 mark. So we're only £20 away from the £100. At that point, we can give all this stuff away. So how exciting is that? Lucy's got some very exciting news as well.
This is for new audio equipment, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's the point.
More of these that can pick up Lucy's hands banging on the table.
Okay, and then we're going to raise an extra £5, buy me a cushion to put in front of me so that I can bang it as much as I want.
Absolutely.
Have your keyboard
thank you.
back.
My keyboard back. That's
Yeah, while he was chatting, I just went on and checked because this afternoon we were
How has it happened?
It's happened, everybody.
We're at 299 subscribers this afternoon, and we have just hit 300 subscribers. What? Now that's doubled in a couple of weeks, is it? Like 3 weeks or something?
It's certainly doubled it in the last 28 days.
Yeah.
It's huge. So thank you, everybody.
So that first bit's the hardest. That's very, very hard. In fact, getting from 0 subscribers to 10 is very, very difficult. So we're very excited about the way things are going at the moment.
I'm trying to find the Disney VHS ident that I played when the Muppet Christmas Carol scored the perfect score in our classics reviews.
Oh, right.
Because in the background of that I put that I'm trying to find it basically so I can repeat it, but I'm not sure. It's too late anyway.
The moment's gone. The moment's gone. We need to have some cheer or something permanently on there.
Here you go.
Yay! That will do. That is blooming marvellous, says Mark Chester. Thank you very much.
What happens now?
I think we say goodbye. So
it's been a long one.
It has actually, hasn't it?
It has, and the famous last words. We got a text from Chris today going, "Let's keep it short."
Keep it short.
I found it.
Can
I play it?
If you must.
Play. Play.
This is a lot of waiting.
That's like my childhood in a jingle. Right, if you have anything you want us to find out, check out, investigate at Disneyland Paris next week, because I want to know if the Thénardier du Dragon is open, because I don't know if it is. Things like that. If there's things you want to check, let us know. We are there.
It's open. The dragon's covered in scrim.
You want us to look at that, you want us to show you this, can you check out this for me? Just let me know. I will do anything. We're your eyes and ears on the ground at Disneyland Paris.
Do anything.
I will be vlogging, so keep an eye out for that. We've got one more show, and then we are on hiatus for, it'll be 2 weeks. We're missing a week, basically. Then we'll be back the week after that, because we're all away, aren't we? Can't even have your little mini-me.
Oh, well, I'm back. No, I'm back on the following week. I'm back.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm back. We go till the Friday, so we're back Saturday, Sunday. So I'm about. I might do. I'll see.
Might mini-me.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So till then, you know what to do, guys. Leave us reviews on iTunes and Spotify, and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and tell all your friends about us. And if they're going to Disneyland Paris, go, do you know what? We know a really good show. We watch it on a Sunday night. Tell us. We'll get more subscribers. Remember what Chris says about Patreon, because that is one heck of a bundle. Can't even begin to tell you. I'm jealous. I won't be getting it. And you've been great. I've been Lucy. These have been Hugh and Chris. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, mate.
Oh, no.
You should have just left it.
Goodbye, mate.
Yeah.